Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We are starting soon. So the event will start soon. Welcome once again, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Hello once again, everyone. I believe it is now time to start our webinar regarding ChatGPT and logistics. Let's make this friendly and open event for everyone, although we have good speakers here, Anna, Mariusz, Janne, Risto, and so on. We also hope that this could be something where you can be active and participate. So please raise your hand, ask questions. You can also use chat or other way to point out issues you feel important to be discussed here. However, due to the technical issues and reasons, I hope that everyone everyone will have their cameras and microphones off unless they are not speaking or presenting. So technically, this will be easier to keep this event going. So we are happy to organize this short webinar as LIMOWA Logistics Center Cluster. Here you will see that we are working both on transportation issues, transport system in general, but also in intralogistics, material handling processes, and so on. And maybe topic today, ChatGPT or AI in general, will be applied on the both of these let's say main sectors or segments. We also have had a number of other projects related to digitalization, utilizing data, and so on. And now we are mostly running and in this project we are working under name Artificial Intelligence Enforced Logistics 4.0. So we are also happy to have some projects here ongoing, which may help us to support you in your endeavor to utilize ChatGPT, other AI solutions in logistics. Today we have here a few speakers invited. Dr. Anna Lahtinen from Haaga-Helia will start, let's say, with a little bit more general approach, how your company can succeed with AI, then followed by another academician, Mariusz Kmiecik from Poland, ChatGPT in third-party logistics. So both Anna and Mariusz have practical experiences in the topic and in industry, but they may become a little bit from a research perspective into topic. However, please also press and ask them from practical side. So let's make this beneficial for all of us. Then we have some shorter presentations from our own organization, Risto and Janne, what kind of practical experiences we have had in this topic and how we can help to you. And finally, I will make some closing remarks there. But as said, let's try to make this an event where we can also discuss these topics. You can ask and so on. But so I think it is now time for Anna, you to be the first actual speaker. Please feel free to start your presentation.
Wonderful. Well, it's definitely a pleasure to be here. And My own background is about 20 years in business and academia, supporting companies' internationalization, supporting companies' innovation management practices. And for the past 4 years or so, I have focused almost entirely on helping companies and organizations to deploy AI and as a part of their operations. And working for Haaga-Helia University of Applied Sciences in Helsinki in Finland, I take part and also I lead research and development projects that are aimed at supporting AI deployment in organizations and understanding this phenomena. So as we move into my today's presentation, I'm going to structure it along 3 lines. First, I would love to share with you some of the insights from the work that I have been doing for these past years. And in the last 4 years, there have been over 150 companies and organizations that I have worked with, and the teams that I structure around RDI projects that we have worked with. So those insights come from that origin, and I'm happy to share with you some of the tips and also observations that we have made. Hopefully they will be helpful to you as well. Then I'm going to share with you some of the success stories and that I have observed and that came together through my work. And I'm going to conclude with some of the tools that each of you can familiarize yourselves with if you wish. And then to start with, I was looking at the field of news coverage and research about AI, especially in Finland, that has been up there in the air recently. And there are a few interesting trends. One of those is that it seems that enterprises, especially the large enterprises, they have a better and a stronger access to AI and related technologies. And already a few years back, there were 39% of those enterprises in Finland that were deploying artificial intelligence. And at the same time, I compare it with my own experiences from the research on small and especially medium-sized enterprises in Finland, and those constitute, by the way, 98% of all the companies. The interesting fact seems to be that about 70% of that category of companies is not yet using AI in their business. Now, I have all of the reason to believe that that is changing very, very rapidly. And as we see from one of the research publications made in autumn, 1/5 of Finnish employment is in occupation where at least half of work tasks are exposed to generative AI. So it goes without saying that these new trends and generative AI especially, they are reshaping this field quite quickly. Back in 2021, we carried out a research and we discovered that in the majority of the companies, there was already some basic understanding of the importance of AI and how to go about it. About 20% had nonetheless said that they don't really have any understanding yet. And of course, as we progress towards the number of those companies that have actually experimented and piloted AI, that was rather marginal at the time. But if we project that to today's reality, I believe that the discussion as it is today is quickly shifting from understanding AI, trying to understand it, trying to have a general discussion about the topic, and is quickly progressing towards applying AI, towards those experiments and pilots and launched products and services. So AI is quickly becoming business as usual, not least because of ChatGPT, generative AI, And of course, that has a wider impact on businesses than we could have imagined previously. And we see also at the same time the shift. It's taking place, but it's a gradual shift. So it's not an overnight process. And one of the reasons for that, I believe, is that the integration of AI into processes, products, services is indeed a long-term effort within organizations. First results may nowadays be achieved fairly quickly. And then when companies invest once, we know stage that they then keep on investing 6 times more as they progress. Now, in Finland, the companies tend to focus on the tangible opportunities related to AI. And the areas where companies see the greatest potential are product and service development and production, quality control, service and remote diagnostics, sales and marketing, customer service, finance, various IT functions, and then to some extent, such functions as human resource management. In practice, and from the numerous examples that I've seen in companies, many organizations start their AI deployment efforts by improving internal processes. And then once they've gained experience with that, they move next to the customer interface and this customer service interface. So those tend to be the approaches and the trends. And surprisingly, perhaps, but nowadays companies already have a wide range of data sources. And of course, when we talk about data, we refer to machine readable information, which is at the heart of any AI solution. And to deploy AI solutions, the data must be available. It must be available in sufficient quality and in a form that is reliably exploited. And when we look at the different data sources that companies have, those already include numerical data, text, images, video, audio, and at least 3 different data sources can be identified in most companies. Although our research shows that numeric data and text are today still most common data sources. And of course, the systematic collection of high quality data, this is still the area where a lot of efforts need to be made. And even though this has been the topic for a few years now, and but it still continues to be an issue. Nowadays, we are in the middle of a vivid discussion about the issues that relate to risks, equality, fairness of AI. And our research shows that companies today, they are already able to identify the risks related to AI fairly well, but little efforts are made to mitigate those risks. And this is one of the major changes that I would anticipate to happen within the next year or two. Of course, also as we progress into EU AI Act. Now, what type of risks do companies identify related to AI? Well, on top of that list is companies' ability to comply with laws and regulations that concern AI. So this is definitely something that will continue to be on companies and organizations' agenda as we move into 2025, 2026, when EU Act will be ready and put into action. Then other risks include data and cybersecurity, privacy issues, and also explainability. So how do AI models arrive at conclusions? And but mitigating those risks, that is something that we will see the companies place increasing efforts as we progress into the near future. So how then to succeed with AI? And here come a few observations and tips. First of all, if your AI strategy is not in place yet, this is a fantastic time to begin formulating your data strategy and your AI strategy, and to keep on working on that. And what we see is the increasing pressure on the companies also from outside, from their customers, from their partners, on actually going into the development work on AI strategy and defining where does your organization stand in the application and deployment of AI. In this connection, one of the key issues perhaps to think about is whether your company is an AI user, an AI developer, or perhaps both. And nowadays, if you follow the media dialogue regarding these issues from the perspective of smaller countries such as Finland, we tend to think that perhaps our role is the strongest in the AI user position. But in contrast to that, throughout the past 3 years, I have seen 65 companies taken part in AI accelerators that have been organized and managed by myself and a team of my colleagues. And in those accelerators, we primarily had medium-sized companies, and we were astonished at how quickly they were able to take in the information and the skills, the understanding of AI, to develop AI use cases, and then to go ahead and launch them into concrete products and services with some great results for their business. So I would almost challenge this thinking as you're considering your own company's position in respect to AI. Being an AI user and a strong AI user, I believe that can bring your company notable competitiveness. And at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily exclude this role of an AI developer. And for that purpose, you don't have to do, of course, everything on your own. There is fantastic technological and technical expertise, IT expertise that exists. And Finland, again, is a good example of that. So building effective partnerships to pursue also some AI development, I believe that that can ideally bring not just competitiveness, but even maybe some competitive edge to your business. Nowadays, of course, starting is easier than ever before, and there are so many tools available out there. And to go into the experimentation of some of those larger language models, that is an open field almost to any of us. And there are enormous possibilities that relate to text, to images, videos, music, all types of and different forms of media. Now, as you go into hopefully identifying, thinking about the AI strategy and your company's approach to it, a good starting point for that discussion is also to assess the AI opportunities from the perspective of customer value, and to look at your work through the eyes of the customers. Is there something that can help you understand them better? Can you anticipate and proactively perhaps their needs and that they will require from you? Can AI help with that? And of course, to try and improve the customer experience. Those are quite often strong elements in trying to advance AI deployment within an organization. And then, of course, as we move into the actual AI experiments and the critical element there, and we talk a lot about this, we talk about entrepreneurial spirit, we talk about the necessity to accept mistakes, and with AI, that couldn't be more true. And that is also a bit of a test to for an organization. So what is your innovation culture? because we are faced with a situation when none of organizations, none of companies can really ignore AI as a major shift, a major technology. So you are pushed inevitably, whether you want to or not, into taking a stand regarding AI, into going into experiments. And that is at the same time a test of your company and your company culture, how acceptive it is of towards innovation and the failure and success that comes with it. And of course, keeping in mind the necessary resourcing that it requires. There was an interesting insight that I've noticed working with so many companies is that when they begin to consider AI deployment, it is absolutely critical to bring together, in addition to your IT expertise, also your expertise across the different functions within organization. It's only through that dialogue that you are able to identify the effective AI use cases. And why is that? Because when we begin that work, when with companies to consider what type of ways we can find to apply AI, we never really start with technology. We always start with the business needs and with breaking down the business functions and what are the challenges that company wants to solve, or what are the business opportunities that you would like to pursue and that might require AI to support that process. Now, a curious fact is that as companies and teams go into the process of identifying AI use cases, identifying those business challenges, it's not even once that I've seen such a situation that we wouldn't be able to find a technology solution to a business program. However, eventually the technology solution might not even come from AI, but the process that is now pushing the companies, pushing the businesses to adopt AI, that results also in a very positive way in upgrading and enhancing and strengthening the development work that happens in organizations. And then the actual technical solution that might be either in AI or in some other sphere. And finally, perhaps as a last observation, in several of the companies that I've worked with in the recent years, we've also seen not just new products, new services emerging, but also new jobs being created. And because of AI deployment, because of the efforts placed in the digitalization of the business processes. So I would encourage companies, as a part of creating your AI strategy and AI approach, to have this discussion of mapping out the skills that are related to AI and that you might need moving forward, either today already or then the competences that you will need in the future. And that helps to focus your efforts. So as we move then into some of the stories and tools for exploring AI opportunities, today there are already numerous examples that we have from companies in regards to experiments and experiences with AI deployment. We've created a portal, aistories.fi, available both in Finnish and English. This is the place to watch to some of the AI stories by companies, to listen to them and to read them. And today I would like to highlight just a few of those stories and to share with you, so what have companies done in practice in respect to AI? Sister Uutera is a Finnish company which focuses on bringing on the imports of new cars to Finland, and they have leveraged AI algorithm to help them enhance the new car entry logistics. So with the algorithm that the company has developed, they are able now to better estimate the date of arrival of a new car, as well as the number of cars per day. And that is, of course, something that helps them in planning their own production and resources. Sivonen is another Finnish company which focuses on the transportation of liquids. And what they have done is that they first looked at their internal company processes. And the area where they wanted to seek improvement was in automation of the purchase invoices. And so what they did is they discovered an off-the-shelf, semi-ready solution that they adopted for their company's needs. And as a result, up to 80% of the manual labor was reduced in respect to this very routine process of dealing with the purchasing invoices. And another reason why I love the case of Sivonen is because once they've done that, and they have had some success with AI adoption in that regard, they have already been planning the next AI use case, and that this time for the machine vision applied to the handling of the freight books. So this goes to show that once we have some success with AI, there is much more of that in the future. For every organization, sales and customer relations are absolutely critical. And the company Link Design, they have developed an AI algorithm to help optimize the content and the time spent on the sales activities. And this has helped them to understand better what type of services customers would like to have from them, what do they appreciate the most, how to place their sales efforts, and to make it a bit more of an effective process. And then the final example that I would like to share with you today is a company, LIMOWA, which deals with offering home care services. And that what they have, logistics is, of course, is a huge part of their operations. So what they had done is they've optimized the driving roads with the help of AI. And in addition to reaching the efficiency in their own work and how they allocate the personnel skills to the right patients, there have been also numerical impact on kilometers driven per day and a notable decrease in that. So there is an unlimited range of AI use case application and the related potential, be that smaller or bigger. And as you can see, many of these cases related also to logistical operations. So I probably still have just a few moments to conclude with some of the tips and also insights. And here on the slide, you see tools that are available for AI deployment in companies and hopefully support also your work. All of these are completely free of charge, available online, and therefore easily accessible. These are available both in Finnish and English. In addition to the AI Stories portal, there is a guide to empowering SMEs with AI. And even if your company is not an SME, we have received fantastic feedback from all sizes of organizations in respect to this guide, and hopefully you will find it helpful. For a bit of inspiration, we've launched interview series on AI in Finland, and there are some notable public figures that share their own experiences and visions of AI. And then if you're looking into something concrete to help you and your company to identify AI use cases and to learn to prioritize those, then the online course AI in Business and the tools that are available there is a good way to start. Now, a question that I often like to conclude with is what comes after AI? And the more I work with companies and businesses in AI deployment, the more often I experience this dilemma, if you wish, because on the one hand side, I'm full on embracing the new technologies. On the other hand side, I'm also a human and an employee, and we cannot overlook those type of aspects. So I always challenge everybody to think about, first of all, as we are a part of this technocratic society, so what is then the value of the human driven AI, and what are the human values that need to be in every development project that comes with it. And at the same time, what comes after AI? Because AI is very much so a reality today. So what can we anticipate in the future? And a few last tips. The project that I'm currently working on, one of those is related to transformative power of AI and what is the meaning of that for organizations, for companies, for employees. What does it mean from the perspective of career development or your compensation progression and your payment? So very practical issues that relate to those transformative processes. And at the same time, I would like to invite you to take a part in a research and a survey, which is a part of my other project, with the focus on the fairness of AI, the fair use, equality issues that come with it. And this is a national level research in Finland. And we have just launched it recently. I'll make sure to place the link to it in chat, and I invite you to take part and to reply either in Finnish or English, and also to go ahead and share that information. And here in the end are then my contacts. And if you are on LinkedIn and if you happen to speak Finnish, then we have Tekoälytöissä group on LinkedIn, which shares insight about AI in work and AI in business. Please, you're welcome to join and to follow. So this concludes my presentation. I would be very grateful for all of your comments and questions.
Thanks a lot, Anna, for this, let's say, introductory or opening keynote for our event. Please also note that there is chat, so you can also ask and comment there. But even better that we have here 2 hands already raised. So Mariusz, if you start, and Kenneth second. Mariusz is also the next presentation.
Yes.
But please
First of all, I need to say, Anna, I really admire your pronunciation, and it was really great presentation. So thank you very much. And I have also one question. You mentioned about the need of creation of AI strategy for the enterprise. In your opinion, is it possible to create such a strategy in the enterprise when the technology is changing so fast?
In my opinion, it's not only possible, but it's also necessary. And I always encourage to look at AI strategy and data strategy as a part of it, as a living organism, a living body. So it's not something that you do once and it's fixed in time. But then, of course, you are considering how then are you going to move those strategical issues that you have identified into the practice today. And then there is a notable effort in always revising and going back to that strategy, keeping in mind how dynamic the AI related opportunities are. So I do believe it's possible. I also believe it's a necessity. And the beginning point for that is to look at your strategy as truly a living body that progresses as we learn more about AI and as the company keeps on growing and developing and also learning about AI proactively.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks. Next, Kenneth.
Hi, Anna. Thanks a lot for the presentation. It was great. I'm Kenneth Korhonen. I work for Stereoscape, and we're into extended reality. So So the human factor of AI, how you consider the development of how to enable people to make better decisions and problem solving in real life, in real time, in the actual work where a human is involved. How do you see that technology enabled from the visual perspective, wearable technology, and this kind of from the extended reality perspective, visualization of the data, digital twins, metaverse, and wearables? Where do you see it going?
The tricky part about AI is that as we're trying to make projections about where it is going, then we can almost limit that horizon to the next 3 to 5 years or so, because anything that comes after that in terms of projections is just science fiction, so it's not science anymore. So when we talk about AI, that is the horizon that I believe is reasonable to adopt. So let's say predicting the trends as we move into the horizon 2030 or so, because in these next upcoming years, we're going to see so many changes that it's almost begins impossible to see how they're going to progress. Now, when it comes to extended reality, I expect that in the next few years, we're going to learn much more about it. And what I see in companies already, and also larger companies, is that they are beginning to take proactive steps towards experimenting with, for example, metaverse, to looking into what is happening there and how does it work and how can we link our future business to it. What I believe is an interesting question that none of us really has the answer to yet is whether those type of new technologies, metaverse, extended reality tools and others, whether they're gonna strengthen the gap between larger organizations and smaller organizations, or whether they will help to level the field between different size organizations and different type of industries. But whether it is AI-based solutions which are in the extended reality or otherwise applied to business, I do believe that what we will see is a bigger gap between those companies that have begun to implement and test and experiment with those technologies and those that have not. And essentially, we will see how those companies that are not a part of AI development yet, they will be, some of them will disappear, others will come and be created instead. And those companies that have succeeded in leveraging AI across their business functions and also exploring some of the new opportunities that relate to extended reality, metaverse and new tools, I believe that those will have the chance to gain competitiveness and maybe even some competitive advantage.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with the competitive side. So again, we'll connect through LinkedIn. All right, thanks.
It seems that we have a number of questions there further, but let's take only one of them prior to go to Mariusz' presentation. So Anna, last question for this. So Anna Mots-Fransen, last question for Anna Lahtinen. So and Anna Lahtinen, please stay online so we can come back after next presentations. So Anna, please ask or comment.
Thank you, Heikki, and I'll be quick. Thank you for a very interesting presentation. I work for a business development company together with logistics companies. And my question is to you, you already touched upon it, but when I talk to the smaller transport companies, it feels like a mountain for them. When we talk about AI, what are your, the first steps? Where should they start? Where to go when we talk about this? Because they maybe don't have those IT experts, those business experts, all those resources that you've been talking about.
Absolutely. And Anna, that is one of the reasons why I have seen how the work that we do in AI accelerators helps different size companies significantly. And the way to start is to be honest, is by application. So whenever we start working with companies, we definitely give them the basic understanding of AI, but almost from day one of our work with them, we push them towards starting their own development work. And that development work inevitably starts with something that they are very well familiar with, and that is their own business. Every company has a vision of what are their business challenges, or what are some of the business opportunities that they would like to pursue. And that is the right and the good place to start. And then as we progress towards creating the different AI use cases, we gradually learn then to iterate and to open up each of the cases to see whether the sufficient data as well is there. If not, how could we gather some of that data? What type of processes are in place? Do we have enough resources? Could our current or future IT partners support us? So, but we always start quite easily with something that is familiar to every company, their own business. And that is the best way to apply AI, or to be honest, any new technology. And this allows you also to look at your internal processes, your external processes, and to really pinpoint what is that we want to tackle and to try with this new technology. And of course, as we move into the next speaker, I also have to maybe add a little bit to that advice. And of course, as we look into generative AI and ChatGPT and those topics, they make it so much more accessible for any employee in any company, for any leader, to develop that first contact with AI. But I'm sure we're going to hear more about that in this next presentation.
Yeah, and thanks for asking, and thanks for all these comments. Please stay online, Anna Lahtinen, too. So hopefully we can come back to these issues. I have many other here. Further, I also have gotten a few questions from audience electronically to me, but I think now it is time to go to next presentation. And the topic for today's webinar was ChatGPT and logistics. So maybe we now have expert for both of these topics from Silesian University of Technology. Mariusz Kmiecik, it is your turn to present now. Please.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, thank you for this opportunity to present today on a subject that has recently become one of my more interesting topics in the logistic area. My name is Mariusz Kmiecik, and beside of the university, I also work in 3PL, so the third-party logistics company, as the senior of process engineering in the field of demand forecasting and the warehousing. Today, I would like to make a brief speech related to the potential use of ChatGPT in 3PL. I would like to start by sharing with you the first results of the research I'm currently conducting, which is related to the impact of generative AI on logistics companies. In the study, we surveyed selected experts in logistics. They point to the possibility of using Gen AI mainly in the maintaining competitive advantage in such a companies, and also in the personalizing customer services and automating processes. Experts also indicated the type of Gen AI model they believe is the most useful in the logistics area. The model is capable of transforming commands into textual responses when out. So, for example, ChatGPT, which has such a basic functionality, somewhat shows its importance in application in logistics enterprises. Okay, so it's quite significant, but is profitable. In the next part of the presentation, I would like to present to you a few case studies in which I participate. These case studies will be related to the three areas where such models support demand forecasting, delivery scheduling, and the concept of virtual assistant that aids in the warehouse management. So the first case study concerns forecasts made for assortment for various lead times, where a forecasting algorithm based mainly on Autarima in RStudio was confronted with the capabilities of ChatGPT in the same area. Several important indicators connected with forecast accuracy, like mean absolute percentage error, root mean squared error, or mean absolute errors, were compared to the 12 of representative stock keeping units with different lead times. The study order lead times were strictly related to different characteristics and the variability of this input data. And the examined lead times were 1, 2, 3, and 12 weeks. Weighted assessment showed that in this case, ChatGPT achieved better results than the dedicated forecasting algorithm, which is really interesting. And of course, this algorithm is quite standard, and although it is very commonly used in forecasting, it can be criticized for there being better solutions. So I decided to also confront this ChatGPT with a more advanced algorithm dedicated to forecasting. So in the second case, the ChatGPT was confronted with one of the more advanced algorithms based also in ARIMA model, but upgraded by Google with machine learning. Here the worth mentioning that the tool I compared with the ChatGPT is the tool which I introduced in the FreePL Enterprise, and it took me quite a while to develop this tool with a good accuracy. So in this case, I compared the forecasts generated for the different picking groups because the tool aims to support warehouse performance planning. In any case, the forecasts generated by ChatGPT are slightly better than those generated by this dedicated tool, which, like I mentioned, was improved by Google machine learning. However, the time to generate forecast results were significantly shorter. So I developed this tool based on Google solution. It takes me a few months. In the ChatGPT, it takes me a few days to make a good prompt. Okay, the next case concerned the problem related to scheduling deliveries to the warehouse. Roughly, the problem looks as follows. Some of the goods from the trucks within the cross-docking and supplemented by products from shelves must be loaded and sent to the point of sales. The issue here was the management of the order of deliveries within the notified deliveries and the order of docks, so as to minimize unnecessary movement of products and the pallets inside the reception area, so inside the reception area inside the warehouse. One of the possible solutions to such optimization is genetic algorithm, which are generally quite heavy in implementation because they are quite complicated statistically. But we must remember that we live in 21st century, so we can always use the Gen AI to help us with that. And the task related to creating such an algorithm can be assigned, like I said, to ChatGPT. For example, in this case, this ChatGPT served to create a programming algorithm based on genetic algorithm. We tested on the simplified data related to the presented case, and we are currently working on extending this prompt for a real case and connecting data with full WMS databases. In this simplified case, however, it is clear that there is potential for such a solution, and ChatGPT can also serve to create algorithm that can be used just as here in RStudio, but just as well is another environment, like for example Python. And the last case I would like to present is the case of virtual assistant. I suspect that each of us know the situation when we need some specific data quickly. whatever it be at meeting with a customer or performing some task in the company. If we have been working in a given area for a longer time, there is usually no problem. Problem starts, however, when we do not have exactly where to look for such data. And here it comes with the AI. The concept is about the creating a prompt that would be describe the logic of data and the logic of actions and connecting a large language model to the data source such as WMS database. In this case, it was not conducted by ChatGPT, but on a similar model from Google. So it's Gemini 1.0 Pro, where the choice of a model was dedicated by the requirements of the company. And in this case, it was also possible to create a prototype chatbot, which currently operates on a relatively small database, but this expansion is planned. As you can see, a user wanting to quickly extract certain information from databases can simply query such a bot. This is a very, in my opinion, this is a very big time saver. So the conclusion. In my opinion, the ChatGPT could short the time required for operational tasks. It can also support the decision-making process through all the logistics operation. It could also increase the operational flexibility of the enterprise. It could also simplify the implementation of new technology or the good known technologies, but which have really complicated process of implementation. It could also improve the customer interaction through quick service and support, and also it could highlight the need of continuous process improvement, especially in 3PL companies. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me.
Thanks a lot, Mariusz. I'm sure that this is very interesting and not only from research perspective, but also for practitioners there online today. So actually there was many links to presentation already given by Anna in general level. Now to apply it in logistics itself. But prior to go questions, I have here. I would like to activate audience. Are there anyone who like to open this discussion? Any thoughts or comment? May I ask? Is Harri online too? Harri Siuro? I think you have been in touch related to few issues. Would you like to comment in this point? What kind of thoughts you have based on Mariusz's presentation, or in general in this topic?
Well, I don't know if there is something special in my mind at the moment in this, but yes, I work for Maersk Line, and I noticed that there is a very similar kind of things what we are doing at the moment in the company, but as I'm working in sales, so I'm very close. I'm not very close in this project. What the IT department is doing around the AI and ChatGPT, but well, I don't know. Maybe I don't have any specific comments in this presentation, but I'm very interested in following these discussions and maybe something to comment in later in this meeting.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Harri.
Thanks.
And nice to hear also Maersk representative joining this event. Kenneth.
Yeah, hi. I was first of all, thanks for the presentation. I was interested specifically in the case, the C, interactive assistant for warehouse management. How is that on is it a practical example that you have been working on, and how is that data brought to the person? Is it in a text format or voice, or how is it displayed?
Okay, so for now it partially works in practice, because for now we tested in some kind of small database, and this small database was about one of the area of storage. So we have the cloud database connected with the current stage of SKU stock level in the warehouse. I create some kind of prompt to describe this data and the logic of this data and logic of the processes which are conducting inside this area in the warehouse. Then we'll connect this prompted model with API with this cloud databases. And now, if someone wants to have some data, some information from the current state of this data of this warehouse, they just text into this chatbot, and it answers it. It answers it with the text, and also it answers it with creating the short SQL query. You know, to check that is a good logic of this chatbot. So it's some kind of control, yeah, of this chatbot. Is it thinking in the proper way or no? And for now, like I said, we tested it in the small database, but we are trying to expand it in the other databases in our company.
So specifically, yet, is it voice to text and then the text prompt to the cloud, or?
The prompt is fixed. Yeah, so I create the prompt and it uses the same prompt all the time. You just text it and you just receive the answer. Okay,
by text?
By text, yes, by text and by SQL.
All right. Yep. Thanks.
Thanks, Kenneth, for asking. Actually, this third case relates to cases we are also preparing here in LIMOWA site just now. Maybe Janne and Risto will comment them a little later if we have enough time. Actually, although time is running, I would like to comment the first of your cases, Mariusz, related to this demand forecasting. And of course, as many of you here know that we here in LIMOWA are working heavily with different types of companies, and now with this AI or ChatGPT boom, we are hearing everyone that they are trying to use AI in forecasting, and although not a real experiences how to do it in practice. But I would like to link this to Anna's presentation where she said that companies often use AI in internal use cases first. And here I'm asking, because from theoretical point of view, we often understand that if we can combine in logistics or supply chain data from different steps, our forecasts will become better and better. So what is your opinion and how you did this in practice? Did you utilize only internal data in creating these forecasts, or something?
Yes,
more?
yes, we used only internal data because mostly the research I conducted was the research connected with this third-party logistics, which provide the services, the external services, outsourcing services to some companies. So, you know, we don't have the permission to share all this data with the whole supply chain. Probably when you are asked the flagship enterprise in the supply chain, something like this, to create the chatbot, I think it is a great idea, yeah, because you have a lot of conceptions of current supply chains, like collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment, which could be supported by generative AI or just the simple AI. Yeah? So if you create such a supply chain which have some kind of central node which is able to make the forecast and is able to support these forecasts with the information connected with the information from chatbots or just some large models. I think it will help in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases connected with stock minimizing, as with transport optimization, and so on and so on. So I think this is the future.
Thanks. It seems that we have now 25 minutes to go, so I hope that if you can also stay online, Mariusz, maybe if we have enough time to come back to these questions and this issue. I also got a good question via WhatsApp from a participant who cannot join today. She said sent some greetings to us and asked, are there any funding available, how we can develop together with company XYZ, not mention the name of the company here, to develop AI features in our intralogistics management processes. So it seems that these issues are very urgent for companies now, and actually, as a general answer to this topic, this project, Artificial Intelligence Enforced Logistics 4.0, is created in order to help companies in these issues. Anna also presented something, and we will meet Mariusz on Thursday to prepare that kind of development activities further. So if you or your company feel that you may need some support or you would like to discuss with us related to these issues, please do not hesitate to contact us and open the discussions how we can proceed these issues together. So as said, we have now 24 minutes to go. Maybe we will get the next comment presentation. Was it now Risto's turn to summarize a little bit of ideas we have spoken here with a number of companies, and maybe you will show some slides you had in our previous event related to ChatGPT and logistics. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Heikki. Okay. I'm thinking today about sandbox and what it means that if the company has their own sandbox and ChatGPT or data GPT for building their own sandcastle. My background is ICT and digitalization, but I can say that software houses and companies have guided me to understand business and how technology can, in best situation, make the business and processes more efficient. Thank you, Anna and Mariusz, for your excellent and, I think, truth-providing presentations. Some years ago, the technical discussions focused on business management, inventory management, and customer relationship management. In their aftermath, the discussion turned to knowledge management and business analytics. Alongside these, robotics and automation have always been discussed, and more recently, production automation and self-management. Finally, we have returned to our roots, which is the talk about humans and humans as part of processes with robots, automation, and huge amount of data. The discussion about artificial intelligence was brought to surface by ChatGPT and the common language model behind it. What about company's data? It can be roughly divided into the internal or external data. External information includes legislative information and various directives by EU. Public and open data, for example, Fintraffic and Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency, and information shared by partners and subcontractors. Correspondingly, the internal information can be divided into information produced and processed by systems and processes. The information from systems and processes have already been helpfully utilized and refined into Excel tables, graphs, and documents. Great instructions and descriptions have been written about the operating models and processes. Efforts have been made to write mutual agreement and customers with customers and suppliers. Operating instructions have been drawn up for the systems, and it's although typical, all these documentations have very often been hidden behind links, IDs, and passwords from those who need it in the SharePoints and Google Drive folders. A question that we have today discussed is often asked in companies: how should we approach AI? Where would we start? So there is information, instructions, and documents. How to make them available to everyone who needs them in the most natural way possible. Would this data be used to create company's own sandbox? A sandbox in which data imported from different sources from the grains of sand, and that everyone can see according to their own physics and situation. Employees could receive answers to questions they face in their daily work and in their own mother language. What if in the morning meeting the team could review the day's work situation, agree on the division of the work, and admire the previous day's success? What if the manager would have the opportunity for supplement his instructions and be sure that the instructions reach those who need them? He would receive the weekly reports and ready-made and easy-read document. But above all, he could get answer the situation situational questions. In addition, he would not have to compile these documents for his supervisor and the company's management, as the managers would have access to the same tool. What if the manager could review the company's contact portfolio, purchase and sale pricing, and intervene in the suspicious deviations? What do you think if a customer would receive ordering instructions in their native language? Likewise, suppliers, delivery instructions, etc. That's my short presentation, and I will thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Risto, for presenting your ideas how to create that kind of sandbox. We also have some internal experiences and comments, and Janne will present how he is using these tools also in his own company, Tietorahti, in project management. Please feel free, Janne, to continue.
Hi, my name is Janne Lausvaara. I'm one part of the this project, AI Enforced Logistics, ALOG 4.0. And here you can see my my title in LIMOWA is Transport Industry Advisor. So I was supposed to keep this webinar, but now when I'm on the move, it's a little bit harder. So, but in January we had this other webinar about ChatGPT and logistics. Of course, it was in Finnish, but I mentioned then that there is a plugin called Logistics Mentor in ChatGPT 4.0 if you have the paid version. And now it's not even 2 months has passed, and already things are getting more and more advanced. For example, of course, they are nowadays they are not any more plugins. They are GPTs nowadays.
Now you hear me. Good.
Yeah, and we.
Sorry.
And no worries.
TSIP. What is TSIP?
GPTs are nowadays these.
Kippis is then, yeah.
Okay. Please continue, Janne.
Yeah, thanks. So there are GPTs right now, and for example, there's already. Think about it. In January, there was one logistics mentor. Now there is 6 logistics wizards, 10 logistics assistants. There is 4 logistics helpers. There's 6 green transportation wizards. There's 10 transportation assistants, and there is also 3 transportation advisors already in ChatGPT. So, and LIMOWA has only 1 transportation industry advisor, that is me right here. But as you can see, in under 2 months, it has been going so fast. And now I will show you. So my company, Tietorahti, it will be later known as Data for Cargo. I have to change the name for some reason. It doesn't sound as cool in English, so I have to change the name. And I noticed that there is a lot of these tools for 1 or 2 or maybe 5 purposes, maybe. For example, these logistics wizards, they are doing some things good and some things not. So, and always the information that there that is the behind of these different GPTs it's always a little bit random what basically there are. And the quality also, the sources are usually unknown. You can of course ask what is the source of this information, but sometimes you get the information, sometimes you don't. So that's why I invested myself. I have been using one project management system called ClickUp. I have been using it for 7 years, I think, or 6 years for now. And it just launched AI, and it's using ChatGPT in the background, but it's also using it inside the project management system. So basically, I can have my private documents. I have my own task in the software, and I can search and ask. For example, I'm asking here, how can the logistics be more efficient? So it just said that there is these kind of papers inside already that have the answer for it. There is already a few tasks that you have that are saying something about more efficient logistics, for example. So what it also has, it has already 200 plus pre-built prompts. So I can ask, for example, in my software that what I'm actually working on right now, I can generate tasks from different docs, for example. I can automate data filling, for example, and I can, for example, choose that, okay, I want to ask this question from this doc, or I can ask it from every single doc that I already have inside my project management system. Of course, I'm not here to sell you a ClickUp. We all know that these are coming in our own softwares, basically. So I'm really looking forward that we have capabilities to use our own data and ask questions about our own data and how you can utilize that.
Thanks,
course.
Janne. Sorry.
Sorry. Only this one and the other one only minutes left.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. And what is the next step? For example, for me is to think of can I use help desk, for example? Can my customers in my company use this AI? The information that I have, can they ask about the information? For example, I'm using forms. I'm one-man company here in Turku area, and I already have 5,000 forms filled in my own website. So I would really love that they could these 5,000 people, for example, they would ask my information, and the bot would give information using ChatGPT, for example. The reason that I'm not using bots, because we are still missing if and then, and this if someone asks one question and the answer, depending on the answer, the next question would be a little bit different, for example. But this is our software not capable. ClickUp is now, but our CRM isn't capable of that. So, but the bots with ChatGPT would be really helpful for me to not to go the conversation with 5,000 people, only someone else doing that. We already hear the news about, for example, 700 people got laid off because they replaced the help desk with AI. But we also hear the problems that the AI is because it's guessing, it's not saying what actually is happening. So there is a lot of these problems that have to be solved before we can use this in help desk. But of course, we would like that, and we would also like that when we have this mobile app for truck drivers, that they could ask, for example, our software, what can we do at this situation, and it would answer the drivers what they want to. But For now, then ChatGPT is for myself only at this point, but let's see how the next step go. And might be that we cannot do that to help our customers, but might be that the AI is helping, for example, us to go through our data, for example. But yeah, Heikki, your turn. Thank you.
Thanks, Janne, for presenting in practice how you are applying these tools in your own company. And I have promised to give some closing remarks, but as said in the beginning of the event, let's make this as a good discussion together. So there still exists room for questions or comments. Any questions? Any questions to Janne or Risto? Please also be active there on chat. I have put a couple of links there related to Anna's AI stories. I also put a link there regarding the forthcoming BackTech Trade Fair next week. So please feel free to come to Helsinki Trade Fair next week, meet us and our teams. Also number of our partners related to these issues. Maybe we will find out some solutions together. I also put there a link that you can give feedback to us how to enhance these kind of events even better. So if to try to summarize this event a little bit, I think Anna started very well and described her experiences how to deploy AI in general in business. There also was a number of cases related to logistics and supply chain. Mariusz continued and focused particularly on our topic today, large language models and ChatGPT in logistics. And not only being professor there in Silesian University of Technology, but also having very good practical experience from a large third-party logistics service company. I think he really pointed out cases such as demand forecasting, deliveries scheduling, interactive virtual assistants, which all could be beneficial for many of us. But as you see, based on these three examples, maybe with ChatGPT, we are able to generate tools that may solve your problems or help you in your needs. I think the third case, interactive virtual assistant, was relatively close to Risto's idea of internal sandbox. And maybe it could be one example if you are interested in where we can help you also in this ongoing artificial intelligence enforced logistics 4.0 project. But we are also working further with this issue, not only with Mariusz and Anna, but particularly with them. So there exist number of other partners too, but we will continue the discussion with both of them to create new projects which may help audience here. But we also hope that you are active in this topic. Please stay in touch with us. Please raise up questions. We would like to try to help you in this issue. On the way towards logistics 5.0. We started from logistics 4.0, adding on artificial intelligence there, and eventually find out that this may help us to reach the next stages. But actually starting from our previous and built on based on our previous projects, I still believe that we have a lack of correct master data. Maybe ChatGPT help us there in master data autocorrection. Maybe it help us to put all these pieces together in a balance that not only help us in autonomy and flexibility, but also taking into account people and our community up to environmental issues. Nice that there in Risto's presentation was mentioned human side. So we are on the way to update our visions and roadmap together with you. We saw several years ago that autonomy and AI will be the topics of these days, and now we are updating all these and hope that will also help you. So thank you for participating. Please do not hesitate to contact us. Please also utilize our forthcoming events and projects. Let's work together. Let's see, for example, there in Helsinki or Vantaa on Tuesday next week, or on trade fairs on Wednesday and Thursday, or even Logimat there in Germany then a week later. Thanks a lot. Let's be in touch.